Every hosting situation is unique, and the specific cost can vary based on factors like location, property size, personal preference. And as a responsible host, it's crucial to factor in these hidden costs when trying to make sure that your rental rates are sustainable and you're getting a profitable hosting experience. So a couple of different things you want to keep an eye on: furnishing and amenities, maintenance and repairs, utilities and bills, insurance, cleaning and laundry, taxes and fees, marketing, listing promotion, extra guest amenities, administrative tasks. And keep in mind also that there will be seasonal or market fluctuations depending on where your property is. Say, for an example, London, you'll see very, very high demand in summer, whereas winter months, it's wet and gloomy and it's not a fun place to be. Whereas in Dubai, towards the end of the year where it's a bit colder, you'll see more traffic, whereas during the summer months, it's hot and scorching. You don't want to be in Dubai. But I'm going to expand more of these down the video. So keep your eyes peeled, or you want to jump to the section you want to cover and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I'm going to start with the most painful one, which is cleaning and laundry. In most cases, you'll find that people tend to look at cleaning as cleaning and they don't consider laundry as being a chore. But providing a clean and well-maintained space is essential for any kind of positive guest experience, right? Hosts are often hiring professional cleaners these days to ensure that the property is thoroughly clean between guests. It will also give you some headspace to figure out if your Airbnb business is working or not. When you're doing your own cleaning yourself, sometimes you tend to work in the business and not on the business kind of situation. So just make sure that cleaning is done, because the cleaning is actually the first point of and last point of contact for any guest, right? So they go into a house, they see property being clean, just makes a good first impression. But also keep in mind, obviously, this is a recurring cost. And also keep in mind, laundry, which is pretty much a hidden cost in most cases, is factored in. So these are laundering your linens, the towels, and it does add up. So do the math in terms of how many guests you're getting and how much churn that you have in terms of changing the towels, changing the bed linens, etc. So put a figure to these things. Furnishing and amenities is kind of essential to attract the right guests, right? So the rule of thumb that we usually use, or I usually go for, is do not keep any kind of open spaces. Do not keep any space which is white. So say, for example, if you have a white wall, make sure there's a painting, there's a colorful painting. If you have a bit of an open space, think about what you can do to put some, clean decor. I always like stuff that are attractive in terms of that makes the guest talk about your property and remembers your property. For an example, we used djembe drums in one of the properties, and it was the African themed property. They love it. It does really well. It becomes a talking point. But to attract the guest, you have to give them a comfortable experience as well. Hosts often need to invest in furnishing their property with the essential items like the furniture, appliances, and these upfront costs can vary in terms of the size and quality of the property that you want to maintain. So think about those as business logic as well. So if you want to go for smart but essential kind of property furnishings, or if you want to go for luxury fittings, and depending on the area as well. Say, for example, if you're doing a property in central New York or central London, you want to do some luxury sort of furnishings. Whereas if you're doing outskirts of London or a remote place in the US, you probably want to do the essential bits. Okay, maintenance and repairs. It's a tricky one, right? Because depending on the area, your access to the maintenance can vary. So Dubai is easier to get someone to have fix the items, but say, for example, a remote location in UK, not that easy. And sometimes you need to have some local connections to get access to the local plumber. And these things are significant. So keep in mind, whenever you're doing your property or you're becoming the host, look for what amenities you have in the house: air conditioner, boiler, heating equipment, and look for what access you have to the nearby locality. So if the engineers for the AC is reachable, just probably pick up the phone, Google someone, see how quick are they to respond. And if they're not responding back quick, there might be an issue. So just expand your search a bit more. Probably try out the local community, try out the local shops to find out how they fix their stuff. It's the local people will basically tell you, or the local connections will basically tell you what's the best way of going about getting access to the right maintenance guys. Utilities and bills. Now, this is an interesting one since the problems we started having in Europe with energy crisis. But these are usually not an issue that we used to talk about, but it has become an issue because, these all factor in. So make sure whenever you have your electricity, water, heating, and air conditioning, you are keeping an eye on the usage. And you can put in some smart monitors, smart sensors here and there. But these expenses you want to keep a tab on, right? And it's crucial to add these costs when you're doing your pricing. So if the energy prices go up, your pricing for your property should go up as well, and vice versa. Insurance is something very important because a lot of the hosts that I know, they try to avoid it. Not recommended, because many standard homeowners and renters, their standard policy may not cover short-let rentals. So it's advisable to obtain the specialized vacation and rental insurance to protect your property and belongings from potential damage and liability claims. Insurance premiums premiums can vary based on the factors such as location, property type, coverage options. Always recommended, always do your research, always try to subscribe to one. Taxes and fees, depending on your jurisdiction, hosting your Airbnb property may subject to various taxes and fees, and these can include income taxes, occupancy taxes. Some of the places like Dubai and Scotland, for example, they require additional fees for you to be able to do your Airbnbs. It's going to come to England very soon as well. So these are the things that you want to research before you start it. So whenever you're doing your listing and promotion to attract the guest, you might need to invest in marketing efforts such as professional photography, listing optimization, and paid advertisements. These will increase the visibility and bookings, but it does come with the associated cost. So do factor them in. Sometimes listing on the popular channels may not be enough. Sometimes you need to do probably a Google push, probably a bit more optimization, and keep in mind these does come with extra costs. So just factor that in whenever you're doing your hosting. The extra guest amenities is offering additional amenities like toiletries and snacks and welcome baskets to enhance the guest experience, but it does again adds to your cost. So these small touches are important because they actually contribute to positive reviews and repeat bookings. But yeah, keep that in mind whenever you're factoring in your pricing as well. Administrative tasks. Hosting an Airbnb involves various administrative tasks, such as responding to guest inquiries, managing bookings and reservations, coordinating check-in, check-outs, and handling customer services. These are time-consuming stuff, and you may get queries overnight. So probably you want to outsource these to a third party or a company who can take Airbnb digital bookings. But do factor these things in because these are your time and your time values for money. So again, whenever you're considering the cost and considering the whole package, consider these into your pricing. The last one, the seasonal and marketing fluctuations, and is something worth talking about because the demand for short-term rentals can fluctuate seasonally or due to market conditions. As I've mentioned in the beginning section of my video, Dubai is not a great place to be in summer, so probably you'll see a lot of discounts going on in terms of hotels and shortlets. So you want to price competitively, but this is a hidden cost because whenever you're pricing your costs, you should not only consider the peak months, you should also consider the slow months as well, right? So you want to adjust the pricing strategy to offer discounts. Say for example, when it's slow months, offer some discounts and attract the guest. And it's important to pick up the revenue when it's high season as well. And last but not least, hopefully that was useful for you. We're going to cover more and more of Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, and the shortlet bits in our channel. Do please subscribe. It does give us a lot of moral boost. We want to get the good word out there. So please stay tuned. Thank you very much.